For more on this, let's turn to Craig Green, professor of law at Temple University. Craig, great having you for a second. Could you help our international viewers better understand what legal authority allows the federal government to deploy the National Guard across multiple states for domestic enforcement?
Thank you for having me. The National Guard, as you've seen, are these federalized military officials, sometimes dressed in military garb and carrying military weapons. There is no appreciable legal authority for the president to send those National Guard troops into states. It's different from D.C., but in states, what would be required is some sort of large disruption, an inability to enforce laws, or this kind of a thing. And the kinds of things that he's citing are just ordinary crime statistics, ordinary municipal city problems that city police deal with and that state governments deal with. This has never been an occasion, this kind of scenario has never been an occasion for using the National Guard, and there is no legal authority that's valid that will support that. And
what can states do to stop or limit the presence of National Guards? And how does the autonomy of local government operate in this context?
Yes, so the best analogy in recent history is the Los Angeles protests concerning immigration, where you saw LAPD, the police department, side by side, sometimes coordinated, sometimes a little bit uncoordinated. I think in some of these other cities that are not even having protests, like Chicago or where I am, Philadelphia, you would actually probably see protests start if the president tried to send National Guard troops there. The municipal police department would remain fully effective, trying to prevent crimes, murders, thefts, the sort of things that happen on a day-to-day basis. The National Guard would be very unwelcome in most of these cities, and I think it would create enormous strife among the population and potential frictions with the ordinary mechanics of law enforcement.
And Craig, are there legal limits on what the National Guards can do when it comes to civilian law enforcement?
The short answer is yes, because the statute only allows a very limited ability for the president to use the National Guard. And also yes, because there's a specific statute that says the National Guard cannot be used for law enforcement, ordinary law enforcement, without specific statutory authority. But the practical answer is much more complicated. No president has ever tried to do this. There would have to be lawsuits, which of course municipalities could file or private individuals could file, and those would have to make their way through the courts. In the meantime, President Trump and the Trump administration might very well have boots on the ground and accomplish the media objectives and political objectives that they have had all along.
And Craig, can these deployments face constitutional challenges or court challenges?
Yes, I think court challenges are the kinds of things that are actually right now making their way through Los Angeles and the California and the federal circuit courts there. Those would be immediately filed if President Trump tried to send National Guard troops. These are the kind of things for emergencies or protests, or this is not the kind of thing for this at all. But that will take time to go through the court system. And in the meanwhile, President Trump and, of course, Secretary Hegseth will have whatever sort of footage that they want to put in the media in the meantime, and making all kinds of false claims about the crime problem in the United States, a crime problem which is, of course, only for local police enforcement to handle, not for the National Guard.
Professor Craig Green, thank you for your time and insights.